Hello and welcome. My name is HueyBear2104, bringing you another review. Today's review will be on a very awesome game that I pre-ordered on November, Fallout 4. This is the 5th installment of the Fallout series, from 1, 2, 3 to Fallout New Vegas, then this one. Now, this the graphics are a bit cartoony, more than the other previous ones like Fallout 3, and a lot of people got pissed off at that, and I don't know why. I think the game looks great. So what you'll be doing most in Fallout 4 is just trying to survive this very, very harsh wasteland. The year is 2070 for something like that, and since the 50s, like white picket fence America 50s, nothing has evolved, and the reason everything started like this is because instead of having nuclear energy to make big explosives and nukes that, like the one I dropped in Hiroshima in 1945, they use it as an everlasting source of power. So that they take this power and they use it to their advantage, and everything looks a bit strange, from robots to the cars, just the environment itself. And during the resource wars against China, because they're running out and they're taking them by force from America, which is, I don't think America will let them take it. So a massive war started, and then I think China dropped a nuke onto a country in America, and that's why everything's like this. That's when these vaults were invented. Vaults, or Vault-Tec, is a company where they build these underground big massive vaults that are in the side of hills or straight underground that help you not get harmed from the very harsh radiation and blast from the nuclear fallout and all that nasty stuff about explosives. So you go under this and you find out that, it's not really a spoiler, but I mean it happens like 2 minutes in the game. If you're playing as your partner, if you're a man or woman, gets shot in the head by a man named Kesslog and kidnaps your baby. So you set out into the world to find your child, having no idea what you're doing, and just starting off from there. Survive. Find things for shelter, get guns, because you will need guns, because this is a very harsh... when I keep saying that, I mean it is, because there's mines everywhere, there's animals that have been radiated and looks horrible, and they can tear you apart, like death claws. Then you got raiders who just run around, steal everything. They come across you, they will shoot you on sight. And overall, the game plot and setting is just amazing, and it really is something. Because in 3, when you were born during it, like 300 years later, you actually get to see, in this one, you get to see what the world was like. And it's very, very neat and tidy. And now it's just a goddamn mess. But that means you're about 231 years old, because you were genetically frozen for that long until the vault ran out of power, so it let you go. The reason you were genetically frozen is that most vaults are normal, but some of them are experimental. They like to take charge and see what the human limits are possible, like locking one man into a vault with puppets, and about 2 weeks later, his puppets became his friends, and then the puppets told him to leave the vault. He did, and then died. Or how about have 100 people in one vault, and one of them is a man, and 99 of them are women, and then vice versa. So they've been doing lots of experiments like feeding human parts to other vault dwellers and see if they notice something? Or how about you have to sacrifice one person every year if you want to, or otherwise everyone dies. And how they did this, if they just said no, no one would have died. So even though some of these aren't the smartest people in the world, it was very cruel what Vault-Tec did. I mean, no one really cares anymore because that was 200 years ago. Vault-Tec's gone. And all the military stuff and all about the China wars is still around, so that's how you salvage most of your weapons. And just overall, very, very bad place. Vault-Tec's a cruel company. Now the main mechanics of the game will be you doing shooting. There isn't really a cover system. You can do a third and first person approach. And Bethesda kind of tried the Fallout, so it's more like a first person shooter. And really it's not, it's still clunky and it's horrible. But we live with it because the game's awesome. And probably the biggest thing they've added was it's gotta be the crafting system and all the new building. Now if you look around the castle, you can see all these walkways and tunnels and all this good stuff. That's all built by me. I built that. Not the castle, but all that wood stuff you see. I built that. And you can build big monumental houses if you have enough resources. Bases that are big and scary and they're unstoppable. Like you saw at the first place it was Sanctuary. And you can now craft weapons, put accessories on them, making them stronger, more fire, hair triggers. You really have control of all the weapons, even melee weapons. You can put spikes on a baseball bat, or even saw blades to make it more damage. Have it more damage, or if you put a different upgrade, say nails or chains, it has a more bleeding damage. So that means if you hit him, more damage over time, because he's bleeding out. It's great. I love it. The power system, it can be finicky from all the wires around. Like, see all the wires entangling, and you can go through it, but it can be annoying at times. You can't perfect it. The only really bad things about it is that, the world, some bits of it are just bland. I mean, you got, this massive city in a baseball field called the Commonwealth. That's just about it. And you got the castle, you got the institute that you'll find out along the way, the Brotherhood of Steel airship. Those are only some really interesting things. Then you just come across some really bland, boring buildings that make no sense and serve no purpose. I thought it was boring. So some other people might like it. This is my silly personal opinion. Speaking of the Brotherhood of Steel, you can join factions. Factions. That's a word. And these can help you along the way. The ones I ran into is the Minutemen, which I'm doing right now. The Brotherhood of Steel, which you can join. You get a jetpack if you do all their missions, and there's some bits that are actually quite sad. But overall, a great faction to join. There's supposed to be a hidden faction, something called the Gun Smugglers or the Gunpowder. Zach told me. I don't really know what the hell he's talking about though. Overall, very confusing. I don't know how to find them. I've never even heard of them in this game. And I've put at least 400 hours in this game. I love it. And I'm still not done yet. I haven't discovered everything yet. I haven't played every side mission. Because there's just so freaking many. There's so many missions, so many characters, so many guns. So many everythings. So many things to explore. Because I've only found 2 vaults. That's the one I was in, and another vault that's actually still popularized. I haven't found that many vaults. Apparently, meant to be quite a few, like 3, 4, 5, I think. Ugh, I think it's ugly. But in Fallout New Vegas, there's at least 10 vaults. You can all go searching through them to find great weapons. And just great, really. Just so many things to explore. Some a bit boring. This is some of the combat. You have a little selection wheel where you can select your favorite weapons if you want to. Most of my weapons are awesome because I've done a lot of salvaging. Companions can be hurt. It's not just the dog. This is dog meat. You find him pretty early in the game and he cannot die. None of the companions can die. And he just runs up to them and attacks the shit out of them. You can give him an upgrade where he can hold enemies down for you to come and attack. And basically I have the whole perks chart in my room hanging up right now. Also awesome things. There's lots of customization of what you wear. And you actually have a voice in this one, when other ones you didn't. And it's still... Because there was one playthrough I did on Fallout New Vegas where I was a crazy person that was a cannibal. He would just eat people because he was freaking insane. And he'd just kill anyone in his way. Let me just say he made it to level 5 and, like... He was level 5 and then died because he was shit. Because he kept killing everyone. And this game, since you have a voice, it kind of just makes you a good guy. To always be the good guy. When in a role-playing game, that's not a good thing. Only you're forced to have that one thing and one thing only. Oh boy, this review is quite long. Keep talking about shit. Yes, that's Fallout 4. You can pick it up now for quite a cheap price since it's almost a year old. And just overall, I love it. I would rate this game instant 5 stars. I mean, there is some bits that I don't like, but really overall, those are just very minor, and I really I can forgive them. Because there's just so much game here to play. This game's almost endless. So yeah, 5 stars, great game. Pick it up, real cheap price. I recommend you do. And this big freaking scary thing is trying to kill me. I'll run away now. So yeah, that was my review on Fallout 4.